Good evening, everyone. Whoops. There we go. Had the screen blown up a little bit because Bam was telling me that I got a bunch of orbs flying around in my room.
I don't see him now. They must
And
calm down.
he's like, either that room is really dusty or you got some freaking orbs flying around.
I mean, it looked like a bomb was dropped on the city and everybody died in it. There's that many white things
Man,
shooting around.
don't say that shit.
But top of the morning to you, me darlings.
What's going on, everybody? Yeah, let me copy this link and share this real quick.
What are we sharing?
Welcome to Sunday night.
It is Sunday.
End of a good week or a bad week?
It was an okay week for me. I mean, I could complain about it, but who the fuck's going to listen? Nobody.
You know we'll listen. Hello there.
Lucy, I'm home.
Welcome to the show, Nadia. Welcome.
Hey,
Jimmy
Nadia.
V, what up?
Where's your brother? I got a bone to pick with him.
Whose brother?
Jimmy's.
Jimmy, you got a brother? What the
Yeah,
brother?
Abel Stable.
What's up, Shonda? I don't think
Isn't
they're
that Abel's
brothers.
brother?
I don't think they're brothers.
Oh, same last name. I just assumed. But you know what they say about assumptions.
Oh, that's a very freaking racist thing to say. You know that? All Velas are Mexicans and they're brothers.
Oh, sweet Jesus. That's racism at its finest right there, according to the U.S. fucking government.
Is Bam a sound effect or a proper name? Oh, that's good.
It is both.
Yeah.
What's going on, G? I'll listen wine away. Well, I do have my wine, and no, you don't need to have a wine glass to drink wine.
Welcome, Ozzy, by the way. Shonda, Hilda.
Hello, Hilda. Hello.
Good evening. Good evening. Melida. Good evening. Thank you for joining us. Marissa.
Hello,
The lovely
Marissa.
Marissa Leal. Waiting to what? Lucy Gomez. Laughing at something. Okay. 2001 A Space Odyssey or Interstellar. I say Interstellar was good. And 2001 was good, but on a different level. Bam, did you ever see 2001 A Space Odyssey? Oh, did we lose Bam? Bam is frozen. All right. Testing. Can everybody hear me? Am I still on? I know Bam's frozen. Bam's frozen like... Oh, we lost him. Jimmy, so many ladies in here. Hello, ladies. I know, right? I got some more brothers in here. Jimmy, call up the family. Get some more brothers in here. And cousins and uncles or whatever. Elder says, hey, Jimmy. Looks like he's asleep. Yeah. No, we lost that internet connection. Because he is gone, like gone. So earlier, I'm getting ready. This thing is, the camera's on and Bam's just, sitting there waiting for me to add him into the chat. And he tells me, well, is it real dusty in there or something? I was like, not out of the ordinary. He goes, because it's either real dusty or you got a bunch of orbs flying around in there. Hey, pretty girl. Welcome back. We're experimenting with 11 o'clock this week. An occasional early show, but for a few days we're going to do 11. In my opinion, Oprah's interview with Meghan was meh. Yeah, that's... you know what? With the exception of Meghan Markle being hot, I could have watched that with the volume down and I'd be okay. that could be bothered. Yeah, bothered with it. Yeah. When's Castro coming back on? I'm pretty sure tomorrow. I don't know if he's doing. I don't think he's doing Saturday and Sunday shows anymore. I wasn't going to do a Sunday show either. I haven't been doing them lately, but Bam really wanted to come on. So we'll see when he comes back on. Maybe Bam just has floaters on. I don't know. That's what I should ask him that. Now, the other night I did see one. It was not dust because it was. The weird thing is I saw it on my screen fly by, but I didn't see it right here in front of me. So that's starting to creep me out now. Okay, I'll hear him. No, he's gone right now. I think he's restarting his system. Give it a minute and I'll see. Now you can hear him. You can't hear him now. He's gone. Selective hearing. Yeah. It's so late. 11 o'clock? Yeah, it's not bad. It's not bad. I'm in on your show. I don't know. I don't know if he wants to come on my show because, if he's on my show, he doesn't get monetized. And, he's big on that. So, yeah, I don't know if he's going to come on here. At least not for a while. I'm going to have him on because he's a candidate running for commissioner, right? City commissioner. So I will have him on. Definitely got to do a regular, legit interview. So I will have him back on at some point. As well as Carlos Elizondo. I'm hoping Jessica Puente Bradshaw too. I want to hear what these people have to say. It's going to be a good time for change in Brownsville. We keep talking about it. We want change. Well, you know what? Now's the freaking time to change it. It's midnight here, so late night giddiness may prevail. That's all right. You can get giddy. Hi, Hilda Garcia. Have a great show. See you tomorrow. Going to the doctor tomorrow. Oh, no. Need to sleep. I get you. Hope everything's good at the doctor tomorrow. Get some rest. So pay the man. Pay the man? Nah. You crazy? I got expenses here. I'm not even asking for. I find it difficult to ask. Hey, Lucy, surprised to see you on here. Marissa knows Lucy. People know Lucy. Cool. You guys know each other. People know each other. It's a small world. VAW Network. Welcome. Looking forward to those interviews with potential candidates. Yeah, I'm going to line up a bunch. I really want to hear what these people have to say. And seriously, you guys should know. And if you got any questions, start thinking of them. Start writing them down because it's important. I mean, you guys need to get involved. People need to get involved. And get people involved. If you know people who need to be involved, I mean, long gone are the days of just, whoever, whatever, I'll just vote. He gave me a free chicken dinner, so I'm going to vote for so-and-so. That's not the way to do it. That is so not the way to do it. Yeah, let me send this thing to little Bammy. See if he's coming back on here. So besides that, you know what? I wanted to talk about the paranormal and ghosts. We kind of touched on this one time before. You guys believe in ghosts? You guys, spirits? You guys believe in life after death? Do you believe that these little orbs that fly around are actual, spirits? They were people at one point. I mean, I believe that. When my mom was, close to passing away, she was at the hospital. When they told her she needed dialysis, and she was already close. It was, days away. And she said, who came to visit me? Doña Clementina came to visit me. And I was like, When? She goes, today. She came today, earlier in the morning. And I was like, I know in my head, Doña Clementina, she's been dead for a bunch of years already. And she said, yeah, she came. She here. She said she was going to wait for me, that I was going to go with her. Like, oh, man. I mean, that right there tells you, I don't know. I don't think she was going senile or the dementia was setting in real quick. Because besides that, she was still pretty alert and well. But when she told me that, I was like, oh man, I've heard about this stuff before, that they start seeing things and seeing people from the past. Right? Yeah. So energy lingers, I do believe. I believe that also. Whether or not it's here in the room. Bam said he saw a bunch of stuff flying around. I'd like to think it was dust, because my little iPad screen is dusty. And, it's, I don't know. But I will say I did see that one yesterday. Last night, a couple nights ago, it was just like right here. This way. And I saw it on the screen, but I didn't see it here in person. I do remember. Yeah, oh yeah, that's right. Shonda's got visitors. It's awesome. I believe that. Totally believe that. And sometimes I'll see a white butterfly outside my house, and I'm like, that's my mom. That's my mom visiting. And I don't know, maybe it just makes me feel good, or it's a nice thought, but I don't see it all the time. But when I do see it, I really believe it's her visiting. I do believe the U.S. Congress might as well be ran by ghosts with how old some of them are. Yeah, that's sad. Term limits, huge. I'm very big proponent of term limits. It's ridiculous that people are in there 40 years, 30 years, even 20 years. I know you need a good number of years to be in there and make a difference. I get it. Not everything happens quickly, but anything beyond a 20-year thing, that's not right. I think the orbs are actual particles only the lens can pick up. I know there have been some cases of seeing orbs, and you guys, you can take a photograph in your house. Just set the camera down, or even video. Just take a random picture, and you'll see stuff. You will. You'll see orbs. Sometimes a lot of times they get mistaken for particles of dust, and that's true, or little bugs. The bugs you can tell because they're usually, flying all kind of weird. And they are small. But orbs, a lot of times, and it's weird to think, okay, so I'm here in this other state, in this hotel room. If there's spirits in here, it's like, who the hell are they? Who are they? I have no idea. I know no one here. Hey, Oscar, welcome. Thanks for tuning in. I do think the deceased has their way to communicate with your, yeah. That told me when she said somebody came to visit her, I knew that she's gone soon. And I've heard that before from people who came close to death, or they were, it was time close to being their time, that they had people come visit. They said they're waiting for them. They're saying, come on, let's go. They're saying, let's go. And people that are deceased already, I'm talking about, that they see, and they're telling them, I have to go with them. They're saying I have to go with them. I've heard that a lot. And it's sad, and it's sometimes hard to take, right? I do believe in spirits. I do believe they come to visit us on different occasions. Yeah. You do see ghosts at hospitals and stuff. It depends how long they were there. From what I understand, spirits, and if you see apparitions, you see someone, the spirits go back to where they lived, to where they spent their time. So it's common not to see spirits at a cemetery. I mean, people didn't spend their time there. That's just where they're buried. So that's why I think when your loved ones have passed, instead of going to visit them at the cemetery, you should really talk to them in your house or at their house. I think you'll get better. You probably feel better doing that. I know you might feel better going to their grave, but that's just a physical being that's right there. They did not live at the cemetery. They did not hang out there. Their spirit is not there. So if you want to visit with them, reminisce, talk about them, do it where they lived, whether it's your own house or they lived with you or they're in their house. And I guarantee you'll get a reaction there. Pretty girl, yeah, I believe that also. So if you really want to visit, do it where they lived, not at the cemetery. I'm not saying don't go to the cemetery. You want to change flowers and that kind of stuff. Hi, Lori. Yeah, I get that. That's fine. I'm just saying, I don't know. I'm thinking you'll get better results, better feelings if you visit with them where they lived. Today I was walking into the living room and I saw a tall male walk across the room, and I thought it was my son that had arrived from work. The dogs also followed him. There was no one there. My son walked in 10 minutes later. That's creepy as you know what. That's freaking creepy. See, yeah. Take pics of the orbs, and when you develop them, make the image bigger. You can actually see faces. Yeah, I've seen that too. They say sometimes you can see faces in these orbs. And I've seen them. Sometimes they just look like a smile, right? And it's so weird. So weird. The thing you don't want to do is record and look for voices. You ever, EVPs, electronic voice phenomenon. That's where you can get a recorder, a tape recorder, whether it's a little micro cassette recorders, or the memo recorder on your phone. And I'm not saying do this, but this is how it works. They put it there and you start asking questions. Is anyone here? What's your name? And you can hear it while they're speaking to you. I mean, there's other equipment that will allow you to do that. But just a basic thing, you can put it in your room and start asking questions. And then later, after 15, 20 minutes, go back, listen to everything. And then you'll hear stuff. But you're not going to hear it as if they said something. You'll hear it in the recording. And that's creepy stuff too. But it's cool, but you don't want to do that all the time, because when you do that, you're opening a door for everybody to come in, and you're starting to record voices. And it'll creep you out. It'll freak you out. It could make you sick. It can get you infatuated and obsessed with doing that. I think it's cool, getting those voices. I can play some of those. There's some on the YouTube, and some of the recordings. One of the recordings they got was in a hospital, and you can hear splashing like a pool. Or who knows, maybe a bathtub or something. And you hear a young voice saying, "Help me," and then you hear splashing and splashing. So it kind of makes you think that it was, a kid drowning. But yeah, you know what? I shouldn't, but I'm going to try that. I'm just going to take a picture and see what comes up. Hey, Shonda. Okay, long story short, my nephew died about 5 years ago. Oh, at 5 years old, at the hand of another. At Christmas, I'm sorry to hear that. At Christmas time, a tiny house. I had a tiny housefly show up and follow me through the house all day. I said, "Hey, Jude." And that little fly stayed right by me where I could see him for days. We don't have flies in December here. It's below freezing. Wow, yeah. That was that little dude. That was your little dude. I freaking believe that. I have knowledge on this subject. Well, if you've had experience, anyone, you have firsthand knowledge. That's why I haven't sold my mom's home. I feel her spirit is still there. And that's very noble. If you don't have to sell it, she'll be there. She'll stay there. But remember that, guys, the spirits will go back to where they lived. That's where they are, not where they're buried. It's nothing but, no disrespect, nothing but bones, flesh and bones in that casket underground. Your spirit is not there. None of that. Your soul is not there. It's just a physical object. You want to go and place flowers? That's great. But if you want to spend time with them, go to where they lived, at your house, at their house, wherever it was. That's where you will feel them. Man, let's go do it when you get back in town. Yeah, right? I'll do that. Ghost hunting, kind of. Anybody into ghost hunting? Abel, what up? How you doing, brother? Yeah, and white noise, there are sometimes, if you guys don't know what white noise is, remember the way TV used to work, network television, like your local station, 2 or 3 in the morning, sometimes midnight, 1 o'clock, when the programming is done, it just goes that white screen that nothing is there. That's called white noise. That noise you hear is called white noise. And sometimes you can hear voices in that communicating through the TV. It's real stuff. I shit you not. It's all real. It is real. Yeah, we're talking about EVPs. I want to look up a couple of those and play those. They're creepy. It's so freaking interesting. You're right in the recording. It's dangerous to the world. You can invite the wrong spirits in. Yeah, you're really opening up the door. You're really opening up the door to anybody coming in. Okay, so I was watching a movie earlier, kind of taking a nap between shifts, not at work. And this movie was on. It was fascinating to me. I didn't know what it was, and I fell asleep. I woke up again, and it was still playing. And there was a Ouija board, and there was a girl with like white in her eyes. And I found out, I think the name of the movie is Ouija. I don't know if it's called Ouija board, but I think Ouija is the name of that movie. Anybody see that? And I found that fascinating. I may try to dig that up tonight. Ouija boards are bad. I believe to be very bad. Don't mess with a Ouija board. When you play with a Ouija board, you are opening up that portal to everything and everybody and everything. And I say thing because there are freaking demons and evil spirits. And it's nasty. And forget it. Once you open up that door, you're going to need a lot of help to close that door. But you're asking for problems. Hey, now there are YouTubers that have live spirit box EVP shows like that. Do you ever see the movie White Noise with Michael Keaton? White Noise was a cool movie. If you haven't seen that, look that one up. 90s, I think. White Noise with Michael Keaton. About that very subject. Check that one out. That's a good one too. Don't play with a Ouija board. Don't let your kids play with Ouija board. That's not a game. It's really not a game. Pretty Girl says, I'll join you and Marissa when you go ghost hunting. Yeah, we should set up a little ghost hunting trip, right? Just some old hospital in Brownsville that's abandoned now. I heard that was a good place to catch things. And when I say catch things, I mean, recordings and apparitions, things on camera. I have a friend that does ghost hunts. That is so fascinating. VAW network. Scary what gets captured usually is they are warning you to stay away or leave them alone. Yeah. A lot of times when these things are making noises and you hear stuff, it's because they're not happy. And they're not happy that you're making noise. You're disturbing the force. You're the force. You're disturbing their house. And if you just move to a place and you're having these things, you're disturbing somebody who used to live there. And it's hard to deal with that. You can't always, you can't just call a priest and say, "Oh, come here and get rid of this ghost." And there is a case of a guy catching a ghost, trapped it in this little box, closed the door, and apparently, and they had a name, and that ghost was trapped in there. I'll dig up that story. It's on the internet. It's on YouTube. I'll dig that up. That I found fascinating. Those boards are bad and dangerous. Yes, they are. Don't do the Ouija. Don't let your kids play the Ouija board. Not at your house, not at anybody's house. Doesn't matter. Don't let them play it. That Ouija movie is awesome. There are 2 movies. You need to watch them in sequence to understand. The second one is called Ouija Origins. I'm going to do that. I might even do that tonight. I didn't catch the whole thing, but I was while I was awake, I was glued to the TV. There you go. We got to set up an outing. Hey, Lori, a few years ago, my husband and I were at the kitchen table and the radio came on. He went to turn it back off. The thing is, it was unplugged. Yeah. About 20 years ago, maybe 25, on the second floor of this house, the dresser drawers in a certain bedroom just came flying out. And I mean flying out. It's not that they fell out because they were too full or stuffed or anything like that. I mean, these dresser drawers, the middle one and the bottom one, went flying across the room from left to right. And there was a dog down there, my dog at the time. The dog was hiding under the table in another room. That freaked me out. That, if you ever had any kind of experiences like that, that's not cool. It's not fun. Ouija boards and debit. Okay. Boxes are very dangerous. Oh, that's that box that they say you're not supposed to open. It's like it has a lock, right? I think it's a Jewish thing. And they say don't ever open those. And you can order them. You can buy them. You can find them on eBay or Amazon. I think Amazon. Usually it's eBay. And you're opening up some problems when you do that. And it's been documented. Stuff happens. Stuff goes wrong. Stuff starts happening in the house, in the room. Yeah. Don't do that. The box has a demon in it. Yeah. And that's what happens. And it's legitimately straight up. I mean, and you can buy these things on freaking eBay, and people buy them and they play with stuff, and it's like, dude, don't do that. So, you guys have any ghost stories or anything that experiences that happened to you? I like to read them. What when listening to these recordings, I'm looking one up right now, and I've listened to a bunch of them over the years. There used to be a TV show, a radio show that went on overnight. It was called Coast to Coast Live. Fausto, my friend Fausto, he's into that also. He knows what I'm talking about. The host was Art Bell, Artbell. He passed away recently, and he'd have these people on, and they would go and record these things, and then they'd come on the show, once every couple of months. And the recordings that were always the hardest to listen to were the little kids that that they were once, they were not happy, or they're looking for the parents, or help me or whatever. That's hard to listen to. Hey, Shark, welcome. Manny, let me recommend you watch 2009 Haunting in Connecticut. I saw that. The Conjuring also. The Conjuring, that's a true story. That old lady, her name is Lorraine. I forgot her last name. She just passed away recently. I think it's Ed and Lorraine. They were psychic mediums, and they could see the people. They knew who was in the house, the spirits. They could tell. And The Conjuring is a true story, in case you didn't know that. Cool movie. Haunting in Connecticut's a good one also. Melida says, we always hear footsteps upstairs when we're all downstairs. My daughter has had some experiences in the room. Footsteps are creepy. You know, for the most part, spirits don't want to hurt you. They just are making noise. There's a movie called, I think it's called The Others. I think it's called The Others with Nicole Kidman. And you guys know what I'm talking about? Have you seen that? That freaked me out. I wasn't expecting that. That's a good one too. Oops. That's a good one also. Check out The Others. It'll freak you out. Yeah, you know, for the most part, the spirits that you hear here and there making noise, they're not trying to hurt you. They just really come back and live. You know, they're walking around. Sometimes you do get the angry ones and they make noise and they try to scare you and they want you out. A lot of the recordings that come up are like, get out, you know, get out, or get the hell out of here, and even cursing and stuff. The Others has such a plot twist regarding ghosts, right? It's not what I expected. It caught me off guard when I first saw that. It caught me way off guard, but it was so good though. That's it. Lorraine Warren. I think her name was Ed Warren. She's that really old lady. You see her on a lot on Ghost Adventures. And a lot of those ghost hunting programs would feature her, and they'd call her in along with this other guy. His name is Chip Coffey. He got real short hair, older guy, really, really short, like a crew cut kind of. And he can see all these things. He can hear all these things. He would walk into the room and go, yeah, this is not good. And it's creepy. But I don't think you should let it scare you. You know, I think be nice to them. Sometimes if you do have contact or your communication with them, from what I've been told, you can tell them, go to the light. It's okay. Go to the light. It's okay. Go to the light. And they go to the light, and that's where they pass over to the other side. Spirits are around because they're not crossed over yet. They're hanging around. Not exactly purgatory, but they're just hanging around. They don't know. Sometimes the spirit themselves, they don't know that they're dead. They're still living and walking around the house and things like that. Creepy story. San Antonio, there's a hotel across the street from the Alamo. Right across the street, the older hotel. I want to say motel, maybe. It's not one of the big names. People checked in, they go upstairs, dropping off their luggage, right? They come out, the maid is there. If you guys need anything, go downstairs, you know, or ask me or one of the other ladies. We'll get you towels, whatever you need, soap, shampoo. And cool. They drop off their stuff. They're leaving the hotel. I go by the front desk. You know, that lady was so nice. She helped. She said we can get towels and stuff. You know, can we get some more towels later? And they're like, what lady are you talking about? And she said the name. She's like, oh, you met her. Yeah, she's dead. She passed away, you know, in the 1800s. That's not really her. And they say that's for real, legit, in that hotel. I don't know what the name of the hotel is. It's across the street from the Alamo. That's all I know. True story. But I tell you one that's not true. What you think you see is not reality. It's a reality to a lot of people. You know, sometimes you see stuff. You do see shadows. There are shadow people. There are shadow people, and you know, some people have there's a debate whether or not those shadow people are actual spirits or are they extraterrestrial. You know, that's another thing. That's another thing to think about. Hey, Lorraine. Nice to see you. My sister visited me after she passed away. A light would fly by and I could hear her giggle. Whoa. Followed by a dream where I could say, I love you. Man, that's awesome. She would giggle even in my dream, and then the light would fly away. That's so awesome. And you didn't feel threatened. You didn't feel afraid or anything, right? It's like almost a comfort. The Others had a good twisted ending. Yeah, I'm not going to give it away because that's a good one. I also like M. Night Shyamalan. The Village was good. Yeah, Joaquin Phoenix, and he was good. He also did Signs, that movie called Signs with regarding aliens and stuff. Good movies. I mean, those are quality movies. Look up the Smurl family. I went to high school with Dawn Smurl while they were dealing with something. It was terrifying for a lot of us. Smurl. Look up Smurl, guys. I'll look that up. You're not supposed to speak to them. I don't know if you're not supposed to. I mean, if you're trying not to get a response or trying to make it go away, I can understand where you don't want to speak to them. You don't want to keep having a conversation if it's not good for you and it's bothering you. But if you think it's a loved one, somebody that just passed, it's hard not to want to talk not to, right? So I get that. Hey, Brandon. What's up, brother? Thanks for hanging out. Menger, is that the one? Right across the street from the Alamo, they say? Yeah, if that's the one, if you guys are not afraid of that stuff, there's some housekeeping people that have passed that are not real. And when they say they talk to them, it was like a real flesh and bone person talking with them, telling me, oh, yeah, we got more towels. If you need anything, go downstairs to the front desk. Creepy, right? We stayed there and we got stuck in the elevator. I didn't sleep for shit all night long. Oh, man, no way. Yeah, getting stuck in an elevator is not something I'd ever want to experience. The thought of the elevator plunging and just dropping, but that's not going to happen. It doesn't happen. The Alamo was very haunted. I saw a soldier inside the garden thinking it was a reenactment event, and the tour guide said, we don't do those. I saw him in uniform in daylight. Whoa, that's weird. Yeah, one of these paranormal TV shows, caught on tape kind of thing, went to the site of the Civil War. I think it was Gettysburg. And they parked, and they say there have been apparitions of soldiers. So they parked in their car, and from the car, they started videotaping just ahead of them. And they saw these soldiers walking around, and it was so cool. And you can see the old uniform and stuff. And they were marching around a little bit, and then it just vanished. It was awesome footage. I say that I hope I'm saying that right, Menger Hotel in San Antonio, but I didn't experience anything crazy. So they have one in San Antonio and in, San Antonio, yeah, across from the Alamo. And not everybody's going to catch everything. Not everybody's going to experience anything. Some are more sensitive to it than others. And if you're just one who's curious and you're trying to experience it, that doesn't mean that you're going to. So it's not everybody's going to experience it, but, have an open mind to it because it is real. And I know some religions will tell you, oh, no, don't talk about that. And don't talk about spirits and don't watch those shows and don't talk to ghosts and stuff. But it's a reality. I believe it to be a reality. Hi, Fifi. When Ouija came out, my sister got hooked on it and something happened that she couldn't believe. The gadget almost was floating to the letter. She threw it down, never took. I've heard of that happening before. I'm telling you, the Ouija board is not a freaking game to mess with. That's some real stuff. The Ouija board, when you play with that and you get a reaction and you start, moving around because you got your hands on that little thing and they start moving. And once that happens, forget it. It's too late. It's too late. Not afraid, pure love. Yep. It's a feeling you get, It's a feeling you get. It's an amazing experience. Yeah, it is. That's awesome. And, same thing with Shonda with the little fly. It's like sometimes Flatliners was an interesting movie. That's with Julia Roberts, right? Was Brad Pitt in that also, I think? That was an interesting movie about near-death experiences. If you feel the hair behind your neck stand up, then it's a bad spirit. Yeah, I wouldn't say it's a bad spirit. I I would suggest more that it's your senses. It's your senses. You feel something, you're gonna freak out a little bit. That's a natural reaction. I'd hate to think it doesn't mean they're all bad. At least I don't think so. Anyway, uh, I've heard of stories on ghosts sitting on the wings of airplanes while flying. Okay, that one I haven't heard of, but I did see that. Some of you might have seen this. The Twilight Zone, the black and white series, many moons ago, about a guy looking out the window of the airplane. They're in flight, and he sees like this gargoyle thing, a little demon on the wing, tearing up the wing, and he was freaking out. You guys remember that? Classic scene. It was a famous scene. It might have been one of the most famous episodes ever, with that little demon on the wing. And every time he got the flight attendant or somebody to look, and they would look out, nothing was there. The wing was just there. And then everybody walked away. He'd look out the window, and there's that little demon again, tearing up the wing, pulling up all the sheet metal. It was so funny. Famous episode. Yep, Manger, San Antonio. Copy. Cold or cool breeze, unexplained in the room is a bad spirit. Then again, it's a spirit. I don't know that it's a bad spirit. When there's a change in temperature, let's say my room is at 72 right now, but right here in front of the computer, if you pass your hand over, it's like 25 degrees colder. Just in that it's like a little cloud. Yes, that is something that's there for sure. Again, I don't believe it's necessarily bad all the time. But yes, be careful. Yes, a YouTube video captured a lady having a visitor rearrange her closet items in that hotel. She was alone and her fear was real. Yeah. That would freak me out. I wouldn't mind going there, but I'd sleep with the lights on for sure. For sure. Lori, we have an old psych hospital in Goofing. Is that right? Goofing, Idaho? Or Gooding, Idaho? I don't know. Otherwise, I'd say it and I'd correct it. They turned it into an apartment complex. The people who live there have turned in different reports about different things about that place. Yeah, the places that get a lot of activity are old native land, native burial grounds where natives have died, native Indians. That's those places are very sacred, and when they're disturbed, and I mean disturbed, like when you're building a house on that land, that house is going to have problems. It is. That's been documented everywhere. That's been documented everywhere. Not guaranteed every single time, but for the most part, they say when you deserve ancient tribal native land, that causes a bad reaction. I saw some YouTubers have experiences at the Queen Mary ship. Yeah, oh man, Queen Mary ship. That's a lot of stuff going on there. I want to go there and check that out. I haven't seen that yet. Haven't been there yet. Manny, you see the movie Mirrors with Kiefer Sutherland? Long time ago. That's probably something I need to revisit. I don't feel like sharing all my personal experiences. I'd like to sleep tonight. I know, guys. It's yes, it can be a little creepy. It can be a little creepy, but it's not everything. How do I say this? If it's your own family or loved ones that have passed, they are not there to hurt you. They are not there to hurt you. It's like they want to come by and you think they want to say hello or something. Right? So it's not that they want to hurt you and they're not trying to scare you and that kind of thing. Most of the time, if it's family, they're hanging out and they don't know they're gone sometimes. Long ago, we went through the California road by Southmost. Took a wrong turn coming from the shrimp port very late at night. So dark and scary, smelling like sulfur. Took us an hour to get out of there. You know, sulfur is a smell that's been associated with spirits or something visiting. That sulfur smell. Manny, I'm not going to be able to sleep tonight. Oh, you'll be fine. Just turn the lights on. That's all for a little while. You'll fall asleep. You'll be fine. I remember that episode of Twilight Zone when I was a kid, but the one that really freaked me out was the last story where the teacher's car broke down and she was held captive in a crazy Looney Tunes house. I haven't seen that one. Didn't see that one. The demon on the wing of the airplane freaked me out, and that was the last episode, one of the last few episodes of the Twilight Zone I ever saw. Yeah, I remember that one too. So, you guys remember a story of in San Antonio that they said that a school bus was hit by a train and a lot of kids died. So, when cars go to that area, you could put your car in neutral, and all of a sudden your cars would start getting pushed like over the tracks, like into safety. Like you'd come up right onto the tracks, put your car in neutral, and it would start moving. And some people claim there were fingerprints in the back, handprints, little tiny handprints on the back of the car. That it was pushing cars, over the tracks so that they wouldn't get hit. You guys remember that story? I know some of you have heard that before. Well, that was debunked. First of all, that bus accident, getting hit by a train, did happen, but it happened in California somewhere. It was not in Texas. And then the car is rolling. That is true. But it's rolling because if it's an incline, and it's an optical illusion. You can't see it. It looks flat, but there's such a slight incline that your car starts rolling. So it's been debunked. It's not a miracle or anything like that. It's not even magnetic pull. I wish I could explain to you my comments. There are explanations. I get it. Got to go. Good to see you. All right, Lorraine. Thanks for hanging out for a little bit. Appreciate you. Don't be a stranger again. They say, yeah, it's not magnetic pull. It's an incline. They took a survey team out there, construction team. They measure the road and the height and the plane and all that stuff. And there was a pitch and it went down. And that's how. There were no prints. There were none. Those were just made up. They were just made up. There were no real prints. That's how that was debunked, because not all the cars had them. Some cars are moving and didn't have prints. So that's that story. So that's not a true story. It did happen many years ago. Many years ago. I'd have to look it up to see when, but it was decades ago in California. Not even close to Texas. A train did a school bus. Many kids died. And that kind of phenomenon with the pushing of the cars, that does not even happen over there. So it was cool to think that was real, but yeah, it's not. Not that they died, but the fact that little kids' spirits would push your car over the tracks. My dad used to tell a story about growing up in the ranch. They would see a lady in white by the cemetery and then disappeared. Supposedly a long time ago, she had killed her child and killed herself. Well, tragic. Very tragic. I don't know enough about La Llorona. I don't know about that. I know the movie's on HBO. I haven't seen it yet. I don't know what the folklore is, what the history of that story is. Perhaps another one I should watch. But I don't know whether or not that's real or not. Was watching Mel. I was watching someone speaking of the night of the Queen Isabella Causeway. Oh yeah, remember that was right at the weekend after September 11th. That same weekend, right afterwards, a few days after, Friday night, right after the causeway was hit, the fishermen who rescued a few people were guided by a woman screaming that turned out to be a ghost of someone rescued. Whoa, never heard that before. So I'm going to play something for you guys. It's an EVP, electronic voice phenomenon. And I hope you don't get creeped out by this stuff. And these things that we're going to play now, I'll play some of them. I have to scroll to look for the next one and the next one. But these were all determined to be, these are legit. These people don't make money off of these. They go and they make recordings. They spend their own money. They don't take money from sponsors or it's not a TV show or anything like that. They just go and do this voluntarily. So I want to put this right here. And you can catch us on YouTube and listen to the whole radio programs, the recording from back in the 80s or 90s, I believe. So check this out.
Ben, which we talked about earlier in the show, Ben Hansen from Sci-Fi's Fact or Faked, was about to show up at this investigation. He hadn't come.
They're going to start in a minute here.
He was actually on the parking lot roughly this time.
All right. All right, here it comes. Let's all listen. Number one. Here we go.
Here we go.
I think. On number one. Play.
That poor girl's going to be terrified.
You catch that? Here he goes again.
All right, I take it back. It was pretty clear to me. Ben, come over here, I think. Ben, come over here is what it sounds like.
So some of them, they can't tell what they're actually saying. Some of them are very clear. Most of them that I've heard are very clear. Some of them you can't hear at all. It's hard to make it out. And then you're talking about, this, as soon as somebody mentions, oh, this is what it says, now you put an idea in their head. So now everybody's, oh yeah, that must be it. And so I don't agree with doing it that way. If you just can't hear, if you can't make it out, then you can't make it out. So let me see. Yeah. The movie doesn't give the story justice. Oh, La Llorona? Yeah, I'm going to have to check that out. I will check that out. And listen, I'm not going to do this whole ghost show tonight. We just kind of got into this because of the orbs that Bam said he saw in my room, and plus the one that I saw. So I think I smell a ghost story show coming up or something like that. I think it's time to do one of those. So I am going to call it a night. Everyone, thank you so much for hanging out with me. Bam, I hope he's all right. I'll call him in a minute. I think he's having technical problems, so that's why he didn't come back. So tomorrow we'll do 11 p.m. again tonight. Tomorrow night, I will put out the reminder, the notification. Please like my page. If you like what you hear, share it. To invite your friends and stuff. Yeah, somebody called it. A lot of females in the room. Nothing wrong with that, but it'd be nice to have some fellas here too. Even things out a little bit. Sean, have a good night. But please give my page a like, and please subscribe on YouTube so that I can change the name on my YouTube page. Right now it's youtube.com/AX3JYQR, whatever, it's one of those things. So once I get to 100, I can call it youtube.com/Manny behind the mic. That's why I need to get 100 subscribes. It's one of the YouTube rules. Why, I don't really know. But that's the story with that. Everyone, thanks for hanging out. I appreciate it. Don't be afraid of ghosts. Don't be afraid to talk to your loved ones. Talk to your loved ones where they lived. Don't rely so much on a cemetery. You're going to go and put flowers there. No issues with that. But if you really want to feel and talk with them, do it at their home where they lived, or at your home, or wherever they lived. That's where they will be. I guarantee you that. All right. Everyone have a great night. Thanks for being here. Don't be a mask hole. Wear your mask. Don't offend anybody. Just be nice. All right. Talk to you guys later.